Well, that was great hearing from Janet Smith about the Spring Arts preview. Now I'm joined by Alice Joe, who's with the Social Butterfly Club, and it's quite an exciting thing that's happening in Vancouver. So rather than telling everyone what the Social Butterfly Club is, I will ask you, Alice. So maybe you can tell us where the idea came from for it first.
Sure, Charlie. So I was fresh out of university, Simon Fraser University, and I've always been a very active person and done a lot of different things, whether it's hiking or snowboarding or, arts and culture, going to the opera, various things. And I wanted to create a place, a platform where people can come together from various different backgrounds and do fun things on the weekend. So it started as a social club. But I found out that Vancouver is very cliquey, and unless they have friends to come with or know people who are going, it's very hard to get people together. So at the same time, I was starting my own business, and I found out that there was a need for a resource to provide people to find out more about business events that are happening around town and inspirational business people that are actually doing cool things. So it kind of evolved into what it is today, which is a online business social club with 3,000 members with a very active events listing, and also we share stories about inspirational business people doing really interesting things and doing more community-oriented activities.
That's terrific. I'm curious if you could now explain it in Mandarin.
我的俱乐部叫花蝴蝶俱乐部，是已经有10年的历史。是我大学刚刚毕业的时候一个想法。当时我觉得温哥华有很多不同的新移民，或者是搬到这里来的新人，他们也许不知道本地的一些活动，比如说去品茶、爬山，或者是很多不同的可以好玩又有好吃的地方。所以我开始这个俱乐部，想聚集一些新来的人一起出去玩得很开心的一些活动。后来我发现温哥华的人呢，除了是有朋友或者是认识的人，他们一般不会很大胆的来参加这些新的活动，认识新的人。所以当时我也是刚刚开始我自己的生意，我发现温哥华的人很想出去参加商业方面的一些活动，可是很少人有这样的消息，所以我这个花蝴蝶俱乐部是慢慢的改造成今天的花蝴蝶俱乐部。现在是一个商业俱乐部，去给大家一些消息，比如说哪一些商业活动比较有意思，或者是一些本地的商业人做一些很有趣的事情，或者是一些对公众有贡献的一些活动。所以说现在我们有大约3000会员，每个礼拜都有一个 email 会发给大家，而且每年有2次的活动，一天是夏天的 barbecue， 一次是冬天的一个圣诞节聚会，这样子使大家有机会可以见面，而且好好的给予大家一些有用的消息。
Shishi. Now the next question I have is, how has it changed your life?
It has tremendously changed my life. It really has opened the doors to allow me to meet so many incredible people and also to be inspired, because I think business is a tool to really learn about various different culture, various different people, and also learn about yourself in the process of dealing with people. So through this club, I've met thousands of people and learned at a tremendous speed. But I'm eternally grateful for the amount of activity that was created and generated within the community. So.
And you also have a great interest in kind of sustainability as well.
Absolutely.
And maybe you could speak a bit in Mandarin about where that interest came from for any of our Chinese-speaking viewers.
好，没有问题。我从很小就有一些环保方面的爱好。当时我是觉得是从小动物开始，因为我从小就很喜欢小动物，发现它们 从新闻可以发现，它们绝种的这个速度越来越快，不仅是非洲的野生动物，在北美或者是北极的企鹅，它们都开始绝种，所以对我来说，这是一个非常非常伤心的消息。从此，我开始慢慢去收集这方面的消息，发现这个跟环境是有急切的关系，所以慢开始收集环保的消息。从我自己开始，尤其是看到了 David Suzuki Foundation 的一些小的那个守则，他会告诉你10条你可以天天在家里在生活中改变你自己的一些生活方式来保护环境。从此我开始做一些 recycling 环保的一些行动，然后慢慢去学习 composting， 或者是吃本地的新鲜的水果、新鲜的蔬菜，不要买一些从外国运过来的水果和蔬菜，一些慢慢的改变自己生活的原则跟生活的做法，这样子使大自然和环境可以继续的保持这么美好。
And how would you say Vancouver is faring in terms of its ability to bring people together from different cultures as you look at Vancouver, maybe in comparison to other cities?
I'm extremely proud to be a Vancouverite. I think compared to other cities, there is tremendous diversity and multiculturalism. As you come to live in Vancouver, you may notice there's specific pockets of I guess regional settling, whether it's Surrey for East Indian population or Richmond for Chinese population. But what I found is when you go to work or if you go to school or any common public spaces, people do come together. And they come together not based on race or culture, but based on their values, but also, what their interests, whether it's environmentalism or activism or business. People come together and it really doesn't matter, like if you can talk the talk, but it's really, your actions that speak much louder. And it's a lot louder than who your parents are, what car you drive. It's really about your actions. And Vancouver is a small town, surprisingly, even though we're considered metropolitan. So it's, it's really not about the color of your skin. That's what I notice.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons I was very happy to bring Alice here to the WOW TV audience, because she's a person who I admire as one of the people in Vancouver who's helping to break down the silos between different cultures and even different interests. And I think what Alice was saying is true, that we're a multiplicity of identities. I may be a journalist, I may be Canadian born, I may be Caucasian, I may be reasonably well educated, I may be tall, I may not be tall, but we have a multiplicity of identities. And I think the same is true of Alice. And I think when we reduce people to one aspect of their identity, that we're not really giving them the full dignity of who they are as human beings. And I think Alice, with her Social Butterfly Club, is doing a terrific job in terms of bringing people together and helping to build the critical mass of a city that appreciates diversity and where we're going, which I think is very important if there's ever an economic downturn, that we have real strength built, because we saw what happened historically in Vancouver and in British Columbia with racial scapegoating. We had riots, in 1907 in Chinatown and Japantown. A lot of that was driven by economic uncertainty. So I think it's very important that we as a community build this critical mass. And I think WOW TV plays a role in doing that, but I also think people like Alice are doing that, and we should be celebrating that for our city. So with that, I think I'll close this episode of WOW TV. I'm Charlie Smith, editor of the Georgia Straight, Zhong Banji, and thanks for watching.
感谢收看今天的大温故事，我们下期再见。